And if it's one thing that you personally hope that people in the audience who do a variety of things in the public and private sectors that could have some impact on evolving smart nation, what's the one thing that you just want to leave us with that you sort of hope people pay heed to or pay some attention to as we go forward into this journey of further evolving into a so-called smart nation?
I would just like to emphasize the power of the word collaboration. I don't think we want to be known as the smartest nation in the region, in the world, because I think that could be viewed as threatening to others. So I think we want to be a smart nation in collaboration with our partners.
Can I tell a story?
It's how humans are designed to remember.
You'll like this one. I liked it a lot when I first heard it. It's a wonderful essay on the spread of anesthetics versus antiseptics. I'm not sure if you've heard this story before. Before anesthetics were invented, the way you operated on a person was you tied him down, you gave him some whiskey, and you sawed as fast as you could. It was a horrendous, bloody, painful, awful process. When anesthetics were invented, it was wonderful. The patient just knocked out and you could take your time. When anesthetics came on the scene, it spread around the world within weeks. It saved lives. Antiseptics came along, and antiseptics deal with little germs. And it was shown in the laboratories that this was very powerful, and it saved a lot of lives when it was used. But antiseptics never took off for years. It took a long, long time before doctors, surgeons actually adopted the use of antiseptics. And the moral of this story is that what is visceral, what is visible, what is in your face gets the attention. And what is quietly done, what you cannot see immediately, doesn't get attention.
What you cannot see directly.
Or directly.
Right.
And I think this is something to keep in mind as we look at technology. Technology can be very seductive. It can be in your face, and we can be enamored to it, and we can think this is the future. But there are other aspects of technology, there are other inventions, there are other innovations, there are other human aspects, which I think was the point that John was trying to bring up, that are equally important, and we need to pay attention to those as well.
Well, there are certain, I suppose, trends that we would agree will change the face of, the way we live together as society. I mean, there's population growth tremendously with growing population. There are resources that will increasingly be constrained. There's urbanization, and there's connected communities. More and more people are on the social media. And this social psychology and rise of big data helps impact the way we live. The impact sometimes even questions the values that we hold. So these things that we have to be very careful of and hold dear to. There are also connected things. There are wearables. There are Internet of Things. What then are the needs? The needs really is that I hope that we will learn to be pragmatic. I hope that we will learn to take experimentation in our strides. I call it the tyranny of the KPIs, where everything is determined by KPI. You can only KPI something if you know exactly what's going to happen. But in experimentation, it's very difficult to start with a KPI. So learn to live with experimentation, learn to live with some uncertainty, learn to discover things that are of value add. And of course, for those things that are quite run-of-the-mill commodity things, just buy it and just move on in life and don't spend too much time. Those are very good for KPIs. But the value add, let's go and discover it. And like Chinam says, learn to be collaborative in nature. Learn how to disagree when things need to be disagreed, because their point of view is important. So I hope at the end of the day, Smart Nation is not something the government creates and hands it to you and says, here, enjoy it. That will be a greatest mistake of our life. Smart Nation will be something that we all learn to create ourselves. So your inputs, your participation, your points of view are very, very important and will help shape the destiny of what we do going forward. And hopefully it will be a much better life for all of us and perhaps even for future generations.
Just sort of my own final thing, then we're going to wrap up. And, you know, I've been in industry for a number of years, and I was started off as a university professor, then I went to industry for 13 years, and now it's getting 12 plus years that I've been back at the university. And granted, from that point of view, I have a sort of certain kind of bias, but it does strike me that a lot of this work with data, analytics, big data, you know, however you want to sort of go into terminology, a fundamental thing is it changes not just how an individual can learn, but it changes how an organization can learn. And it's a vocabulary I use, but I don't hear it a lot sort of when I talk to the standard commercial people. This notion of systematizing the way we learn at the organizational level, systematizing the process of experimentation, and I think evolving to a smart nation, getting better in social feedback mechanisms. I think that is so important for Singapore, right? Where we sort of take this next generation of social feedback mechanisms. And there is no one answer, but it's something related to the process by what we do that. And the sort of the co-creation and the collaboration by what we do that only increases the odds that for what will work for us, we can sort of be that kind of smart nation. So with that, let me hand it back to the CLC people. And let me just say thank you for facilitating the process of having these folks and putting us in an environment where people really can speak sort of honestly and constructively. And thanks to the folks for being here and participating.